Yep, it's that time of year again. All the pumpkin fanatics want to put it in every single food and drink recipe out there. I figured if you can't beat them, join them. So I'm going to show you how to make a delicious, light, fluffy pumpkin bread. We're going to load it up with chocolate chips. I'm pretty sure you're going to love this recipe. So while I'm not the biggest pumpkin fan out there, obviously, I actually do really like it in breads. It's a great way to make breads moist and tender and obviously flavorful. And if you get a chance to check out the history of it, it's very rich and probably different than you may have thought. This recipe, however, is incredibly simple and follows along just like my zucchini recipe. We are going to start off with that batter. Sound good? Let's bake. I've got a very large bowl with unsalted butter in it. We always use unsalted because we control the salt content. Great thing about this recipe is you do not need a stand mixer. In that large bowl of butter, we are going to add in a combination of packed light brown sugar and regular cane sugar. I like using brown sugar in the batter because I believe it helps with color and also helps to make it moist and tender. Once it is whisked together, what we're going to do is add in one large egg at a time until it is completely whisked in. You want to make sure your batter is smooth and there are no clumps of anything, including the flour, which we'll put in at the end. Once all of the eggs are mixed in, we're going to add a few more things. Some vanilla extract, followed up with a little bit more fat in oil. You can use vegetable, canola, or even your favorite oil, just not olive oil. Next, I've got some whole milk for a little bit more fat, also to help loosen up this batter because we have a lot of dry ingredients coming in. Once it is whisked together, we're now going to add in our canned pureed pumpkin. Obviously, this is where you get your color and your flavor and your texture from. So using a whisk, be sure to mix this in completely. And it's definitely spice time, my friends, so I'm going to hit it with a little bit of ground cinnamon and just a kick of nutmeg. That one is optional. If you like nutmeg, use it. If not, no worries. We're going to add in a pinch of sea salt, followed up with some baking soda, and then, of course, some baking powder. Both of these leavening agents are going to help make the bread light, fluffy, and, of course, rise past the top of the pan. Whisk these until they are completely combined in. And now for the flour, I've got some all-purpose flour here. We're just going to add in there and then whisk it until it is smooth. Now, you got to be careful here because if you whisk too fast, that flour is going to go flying all over the countertop and outside of that bowl. So be gentle while doing this. Now, this recipe actually will work if you want to do gluten-free. One of those 1-to-1 flours, it will be perfect to swap that out for the all-purpose flour, just in case you're gluten-free. Now that everything's combined, I'm going to add in some walnuts. You could sub pecans. And then just as a little kick, I want to do chocolate chips. I love chocolate chips and pumpkin. The combination is fantastic. Use a rubber spatula and fold all of those ingredients in together. Now, you do not even have to use nuts or chocolate. It's just an option. Provides great texture and great flavor. Now we're going over to 2 9-by-5-inch loaf pans that have been sprayed with nonstick spray. Evenly divide the batter right into those loaf pans. What I like to do to settle it is sort of give it a few knocks. If you don't want to do that, you can use the rubber spatula and sort of smooth it out on your own. We're going to set this to the side because we have one more thing that I want to put on the top. So you know I'm all about textures and flavors. Just like in my banana bread recipe, I want to put a little bit of crispness right on top just to add a little bit of extra love to this bread. Now, if you don't want to do this, another great option would be to add a glaze, just like in my polenta cake recipe. You can take that glaze once the bread is completely cooled down after it's done cooking and put it all over the top. Boom, you've got a glaze. None of that sort of crispness, which I'm going to do right now and show you how to do. Here we go. So in a really small bowl, I've got some packed light brown sugar. And of course, let's stick with the pumpkin theme. I've got some pepitas or pumpkin seeds. These are raw. These are not cooked. We're just going to mix all of these together until they are combined. And now we're going back over to those loaf pans. And we want to evenly sprinkle all of this goodness all over the top. This looks absolutely perfect. It's going to add a nice crunch, flavor, and texture to the top. to the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to take in between 75 and 80 minutes, or we'll read 195 to 205 degrees Fahrenheit internally. After that time, let's pull it out. Looks absolutely beautiful. You can see how much they've risen up. They're light, they're fluffy, they're amazing. And this is the hard part, my friends, because it's the waiting game. But you only need to really wait 20 to 30 minutes before you can slice and serve this up. Fundamental techniques, it even applies to baking. Getting the ratios right from wet to dry ingredients to make sure it's moist, tender, flavorful, fluffy, all those things that you want in bread. Now, I have nothing to plate up, but I am going to slice it up to show you how amazing it is in the inside. Check this out. So using a serrated knife, and be sure to hold the bread down because it is nice and crispy on top. It will sort of break apart on top if you don't do this. So be gentle when slicing it. Again, a serrated knife is perfect for slicing any type of bread. It's just my own opinion. You can see how light, how fluffy, how tender. It is absolutely fantastic. Let's just turn the rest of the loaf just to show you how good it is. If you love this recipe and learned something, please like and share it, and definitely smash that subscribe button. And don't forget this video right here. I made it for you. We'll see you on there. Let's get in this.